Straight ahead on WBKB, could the 180-day school year be extended?
Plus, a multi-million-dollar upgrade is on the horizon for Alpena County, and Alpena is looking to expand their downtown business district.
You are watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 6 starts now.
This is WBKB News at 6. An in-depth look at news, weather, and sports. From hard-hitting news stories to local events, we're there with coverage you can count on. You're watching WBKB News at 6.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Stewart.
And I'm Tyler Cruz. The state superintendent proposed additional learning time for next school year. Michigan Senate Education and Career Readiness Committee and the House Education Committee met with State Superintendent Dr. Michael Rice in their weekly meeting yesterday. At the meeting, Rice addressed lawmakers and promoted adding more learning time for the 2021-2022 school year. One way of doing this, Rice proposed lengthening the current minimum number of school days, which sits at 180 days.
Students and staff need more days coming out of the pandemic. The state legislature should raise the minimum number of days to underscore the need for more time. But that's just the beginning. There needs to be a layering of additional time.
Layering of extra time will begin by prioritizing their focus on the students who need it most. Rice says layering in additional learning time next year will help Michigan students address foregone learning during the pandemic. He also proposed lowering class sizes for early elementary ages where teachers begin laying the foundations for future learning.
Well, Alpena County is anticipating a huge multi-million-dollar upgrade in the foreseeable future. Plans for a $25 million mixed-use development are in the works in the area. The proposed project would provide a 3-story, 45,000 square foot apartment complex, a community center, fitness facility, and even a farmers market pavilion. Lenny Avery, executive director at the Alpena County Commission on Aging, who's spearheading the project, says it's time to meet the community's needs.
Really trying to drill down on the needs of our community. And the more that I kept looking, I kept finding more need. And some of the biggest need was access to housing, to health and nutrition and health and nutrition education, and then food insecurity.
Avery says that this development paves the way for bringing new businesses and organizations to the area.
I want to get this project off the ground before, if Wordsmith or that air base does open up, I want to put us in a position to where we look attractive to other businesses to come invest into Alpena County.
Avery says the next steps are to find funding and begin the process of applying for grants. He says he's been communicating with regional leaders about the project and is confident the plan will all come together.
Well, Michigan State University is helping in the fight against opioid use. The university will host their Michigan Substance Use Prevention Education and Recovery webinar. The webinar will focus on recognizing, preventing, and treatment of opioid misuse in rural communities. According to MSU, 7 people in Michigan die every day from an opioid overdose, and 75% of Michigan's overdose deaths are related to opioid misuse. The program is free online February 19th from 12 to 1 p.m., with registration closing on February 18th. We will have the link to register on our website.
Well, U.S. Senator Gary Peters is stepping into a new role as chairman of the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee. Peters has served as the ranking member of the committee for the past 2 years. He says in a meeting earlier Wednesday with President Biden and Vice President Harris, he stressed the need for a comprehensive national distribution plan for the COVID-19 vaccine.
One issue that I raised directly with the president and what I'm hearing from folks across Michigan is that there needs to be more certainty when it comes to the supply of the vaccine.
Senator Peters says in his new role, one of the tasks the committee will undertake is a thorough evaluation of the response to the pandemic right from day one. As of Wednesday afternoon, 448,759 Americans have died from the coronavirus. State Representative Sue Aller is helping victims of human trafficking rebuild their lives. During a House Appropriations Subcommittee on Health and Human Services, Representative Aller reintroduced her portion of the legislative package. Aller highlighted impactful testimony she recently heard from survivors and others. Aller says we must work to empower survivors who've gone through horror of the human trafficking system and give them justice. She added that stories she hears are tragic and her heart breaks for these individuals and their families. The bill addresses prostitution and changes references within state law to accommodate the new definition of commercial sexual activity.
Well, the City of Alpena's Downtown Development Authority is looking for businesses to move into the district. The DDA announced the establishment of its retail recruitment program with the goal of encouraging existing established businesses to relocate or expand to downtown Alpena. The program offers grants of up to $10,000 per business that can be used towards moving costs, capital improvements, and more in their relocation to downtown Alpena. Businesses must have been established for 5 or more years and have a proven track record of success to be eligible for the program. And Ford has designed a clear N95 face mask for the hearing impaired. The automaker says they have a patent pending approval for the design, which is expected to be available this spring. Ford says the mask is transparent, low cost, and reusable, and will allow people to better communicate with each other by reading lips, which is hindered by the current cloth face masks.
Well, there is more news ahead for you here on WBKB coming up today.
Issued for our area, all the places highlighted in gray are under that winter weather advisory for us in Northeast Michigan. That starts at 7 p.m. tomorrow evening and continues until 7 a.m. Friday. That said, we're going to hang on to dry weather through tonight into tomorrow morning. Our chances of any snow begin to climb late in the day. Those chances become much higher as we go into tomorrow evening, and we can expect at least a couple inches of snow to fall. I'll have some updated numbers on how much snowfall to expect late tomorrow into early Friday, and then a look at a blast of Arctic air that's going to be settling in for the weekend coming up later in the newscast.
Thanks for that, Ellie. I'm glad I enjoyed today's weather while I could, because it's not going to last. Today on Next Level Wednesday, WBKB's Stephanie Minichi spoke with a local attorney, Denise Burke, who shares her journey to obtaining her law degree and the importance of knowing the law, even if you don't want to practice. Take a look.
Welcome to Next Level Wednesday. Today we're talking to attorney Denise Burke, who's going to provide tips on how you can obtain your law degree. Denise, what were your steps toward obtaining your law degree after finishing high school?
I went to University of Michigan, and you have to have a 4-year degree. You have to have a bachelor's degree to apply to law school, and you have to take what's called an LSAT, Law School Admissions Test. And they look at your grade point average from undergrad along with how you do on the law school admissions test. And then you get into law school, and you have law school's 3 years, and then when you graduate, you're an attorney after you're sworn into the bar. So you graduate from law school, and then an attorney has to make a motion to court to have you sworn in to practice law in Michigan.
You mentioned even if you don't use your law degree, there are other things that you can do with it. Tell me about that.
Right, so I encourage everybody to go to law school. I think that even if you don't practice law, even if you just do it for the education, every facet of our life needs lawyers nowadays. If you need to do a will, if someone dies in the family, how to...
Tell it along with a short description to news@WBKB11.com.
At least there's a positive out of these freezing temperatures. We get some nice ice diamonds. Sports is coming up next, but first, Jake Vanderbrook is here with a preview. Jake, what's happening tonight?
Yeah, Tyler, it's National Signing Day, and we had area athletes that have officially signed their letter of intent to play sports at the collegiate level, and that includes Alpena's Charlie Williams. And I'll tell you this, going to his signing, we had no idea where he would be playing football. It was a surprise.
And welcome back. Well, before Sherry and I go for the night, we'll leave you with this moment between a seal pup and its mama. Fluffy baby for an all, a newborn seal pup made its way down to a snowy pool bank at Riga Zoo in Latvia. Look at the pup moving around with its front flippers and walking up to the mom for a kiss. The seal was born last Tuesday, the 26th, and is the mom Krista's third pup. The baby's gender is still unknown, but the name will likely be picked soon. It may not be there yet, but this pup will eventually become a full-grown gray seal, one of the largest seal species in the region. Isn't he cute for now, Sherry?
Yes, very
Till he
adorable.
gets bigger.
Absolutely, you have to feed him. Well, that's all we have for you this evening.
You can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night.
And check us out on our Facebook page and Twitter handle at WBKB11.
And be sure to catch us back here tonight at 11 with Stephanie Manici. Have a great evening.